Detective arriving on the scene. Welcome back in, you disco fiends. We are closing in on what I feel is going to be the final part here of Disco Elysium. Hey, Slice, welcome in, man. I don't know. I'm so bad with estimating times for things. I keep wanting to say, oh, this is going to be the last one. I have a feeling this is going to be our second to last one. Pure just gut instinct on that, but that is what my gut is telling me. I think we're going to get pretty darn far tonight, but I don't think we're going to quite finish. Although I could be wrong. We don't have a lot of threads to tug on left at the moment. Yes, thank you, YouTube. Please actually run. I appreciate you. Okay. To wit, one of the things I want to do is I want to go turn in that bird that we picked up to Gart before I forget. Also, I didn't read this because I was just so excited to have it back. Equip this when times are most dire. A 3-shot revolving barrel Villiers LaSalle pepper box, typically assigned to officers of the RCM upon reaching the rank of sergeant. The butt of the gun is worn. An engraving on the side reads, Sunrise Parabellum. This is your gun, no doubt about it. And I did look to see what the translation for this was, and it's essentially sunrise, prepare for war. I recognize bellum as Latin for war, so that's what made me curious about that one. So very happy there. Although it's a tri-barrel, we only have one bullet, so we currently do not have all 3 chambers loaded, which maybe was for the best, because otherwise we would not be standing here after our encounter with Pig. So maybe that's for the best, maybe not. I would sure be much happier if I had 2 more bullets, I'll tell you that. Hey, Tut and Cyanide, welcome in, man. Who am I and who donned it, mister? No say. Who are you? What did they don? Alright, we're gonna have to, like I said, we're gonna go talk to Gart to turn in that bird that the small girl donated to our cause. I do kind of wish there was a quick travel between the fishing village and the whirling. We do have to make this jog quite often, unfortunately. No better kill than overkill. Triple tap, that's right. Well, it's a muzzle loader, so I highly doubt it is, well, we know it's not automatic, but I highly doubt it's even dual action. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen a gun like that, where you would have, I mean, I guess it'd kind of, sort of be similar to, like, how a GAT would have worked, like original GAT, but not really. The model itself doesn't look like it. Well, no, maybe that does actually spin. Maybe I need to take that back. Maybe it is technically a revolver. It's hard to tell whether that's solid or turns. I guess it only has one trigger, so it would have to rotate to be able to have the hammer and the strike plate there. Oh, great. I got stuff on my glasses, too. What a great start. Also, we got the crap kicked out of us by phone calling yesterday. Or today, I suppose, in-game. That hurt a lot. That hurt a lot. Gart, my friend. Gart, I found you a new bird for the whirling. It's a ruffled grouse.
What is this thing?
It's no biggie. I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy.
Yeah, I knew you would appreciate that as a fellow lover of taxidermy.
I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
No, Gart. Thank you.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem.
I don't know, guys. I just kept sending her taxidermy and she wouldn't return my calls.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Me too, Kim. I'm glad you feel the same way.
It's not actually about that, but he likes it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go for the bill tonight. A, we don't have it, and B, I think we need to accept the key, and I'm not sure I can take the key if I've paid. So we will also check in there. After stream last time, I went and cleaned up, and then I just hopped in just to look around, and I think there might be a ladder I missed that will let us into that possible vantage point building on the boardwalk. So I do want to check that too. Just adding to my mental to-do list. So we've got find Ruby. I think she might be in the locked room. Find where the shots are. And we have one location that I think we can get into. Open the ice machine. I think those are basically the 3 at the moment. Like, one of those threads is going to take us somewhere. Hey, kids. Having fun with those rocks? Okay, where was that? Now, even saying that, it has still been a couple days for me here. I was really jonesing yesterday to play disco. It took a lot of willpower not just to go live. I needed to work on some of the Tale of Immortal content. But man, my heart was also split. Yeah, there. Oh, okay, are you clickable? Not really clickable. Okay, no, I guess I was wrong. I saw that and thought maybe that's what we were supposed to do.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
That did not help me with my ladder. Okay, so I was wrong. I guess maybe I should have clicked on it. I didn't want to do anything off the stream that would oops, sorry, Kim. That would change anything. But I did notice when we were zoomed out a whole bunch, there is a clicky here, so there's got to be a way. Oh, are you interested in doing it when I clicked? No, not actually. There. I feel like there's got to be a door or something I am missing. We saw a spot with a slot or something? Where was that? That was over there. They had also mentioned underground things. Oh, there's somebody. Oh, hey! Hey! Guy with the backpack. I know who you might be. Okay, maybe this is what I need. Just out of curiosity, since I missed that, did I miss something over here? No, that's where the firing squad thing was. Yeah, I don't know, Cyanide. That's, like I said, like I didn't think it was a revolver. I thought this was a solid piece. Because if it's a muzzle loader, you generally wouldn't have something like that. But maybe this is some weird, like, pre-revolver type thing. It doesn't look double action either, so I don't know. Tiny cages carefully constructed. Lots of people out there miss the good old days. Skill point, thank you. What are we sitting on? 2. We may have to skill point drop to get that ice thing open. The heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes crumbling. Could this buoy be... Oh, could this be the buoy that Quasi told us about? Could it?
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash, but if you look closer...
Oh yeah, I totally don't think that all 3 could fire at once. It's only got 1 hammer, so the top one's the only one that could be shot there. Assuming that it's realistically made, you know.
That over there must be the boy class you told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
Hey, Perry. Welcome in, man.
Ooh, hidden things, secrets, lies.
Pick up the buoy.
You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut.
Are they already gone? Has she got out of here? Sniff the buoy. Examine the plastic ball.
The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
Sniff the buoy.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop, and decay. There's something in there, splashing around.
Alright, open the buoy.
A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else.
Oh, we got played.
Well, damn.
We're lucky it's still here. Even a little longer, it would have floated away. No documents. Who do you think took them? We're lucky it's still here. A little longer, it would have floated away.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
No documents. Who do you think took them?
I have no idea.
This is a minor quirk. We know what was in the buoy anyways.
Or think we do. This is
Fair.
a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
Maybe Cloise took them herself.
That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing more for us to do here.
Oh,
Let's
dude.
go.
If she's still there tonight, I will be shocked.
You could ask the miss what she thinks later if you have the time, though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
Let the buoy be. Hey, man. Your wife is, like, really worried about you. Also, there's a yellow dot. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not
think-
out of this jam.
I think this might actually be Crocodile Dundee. Morel Dundee.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
You move like a scientist?
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Gary the crypto-fascist. Well, there you go.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
I got no beef with this guy. Lena sent me. She's been worried about you and waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
I don't feel the need to tell him that at the moment. The waterlock's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He fastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen a woman with red hair who seems to be on the run?
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
What if they're large and Sasquatch-like?
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
So what's this plasmid you're looking for?
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
I mean, there do appear to be a large amount of reeds, you are correct.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialized techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our present case.
What sort of specialized techniques is the plasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. but I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
How big is the phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up for you.
Seems puny, to be honest.
Yeah, I could take him. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptoids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
So what have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says briskly enough that even he seems taken back by it.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
What makes you think the phasmid is here in Martinaise?
There was a credible sighting here recently. A pair of teenagers described a creature that matched the Insulindian phasmid to an uncanny degree, despite not knowing what it was themselves. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian plasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Oh, nice. You were brewing up some cider there. Tut, tut, tut. I missed your message up there. Nice. Failure. Parothegenesis?
Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
That's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Tell me more about the traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the traps?
Yes,
How do the traps work?
simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using for bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course.
Of course, yeah.
We've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
I mean, obviously.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
I'm shocked they're alive in the snow.
A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
A carnivorous stick insect? Seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion.
You're welcome.
We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Oh, thank you for taking me under account.
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
What will you do if the traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Let me ask you something else.
Yes. What?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Oh, jeez. You don't want to catch reed crabs.
Won't let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the Phasmid somehow.
I didn't know the Phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it.
Ah.
A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
She's seen it?
Really? She sighted the plasmid?
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs and continues.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious Phasmid.
They're obviously inland.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian Phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Maybe you should go back to the whirling warm-up and come back to check the traps later.
Oh, no. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
If it starves within like a couple hours, then I don't know what to tell you, man.
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
I'm all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Where are these
There are
traps?
4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
Like Kim, maybe our suspect is hiding out in the reeds among the traps.
I have a feeling the only people foolish enough to spend their time skulking among the reeds are these poor fools, and us. But fine, it's not like we are drowning in leads.
Alright, so what do I do when I catch the Phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
What if I encounter the Phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Lay it on me.
Wise choice.
He douses you with the odd-smelling spray and then gives you a satisfied nod.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and...
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt. What about his eager-to-leave friend Gary there? Talk to him too, perhaps.
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
Just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
And does something truly surprising ever happen to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
Interesting. Something for later, this close call.
What kind of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
You think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
So you've never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
1 second, I gotta clean off the old glasses here. The snow piling up on them. 2 out of 4,000 is not even 1%. Not approvingly. Then the Insulindian phasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing. He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Thanks for explaining that. Now about something else.
Yes.
Let's talk about specific cryptids.
All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. Since you've offered to help, you need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the Gnome of Jeroma.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
Living? No.
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
The dread moose?
Yes, the dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Okay, what does the dread moose look like?
Just like an ordinary ardent moose.
Then how can you tell if it's the ordinary or the dread kind?
You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
Fair.
A moose that looks like any other moose. What's going on here? He's kidding, right?
I'm not completely sure about this dread moose.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more.
What's the other evidence?
The recent surge in the moose population has hidden carnivores. The dread moose are effectively removing competition for both themselves and their evolutionary cousins.
What is exactly the relationship between a carnivorous moose and a regular moose?
The carnivorous moose are a very young species, the result of a genetic mutation that fared well in the process of natural selection. It makes sense that such a majestic animal with natural weapons, antlers, would come to rule the forest. The only strange thing is that it took so long.
Why would it need to hide its carnivorous nature?
Moose are already being hunted for sport. Can you imagine what would happen if they came to be viewed as predators?
Are there any reliable eyewitness accounts of moose killing other animals for food?
One slaughterhouse at the outskirts of the woods in Vasa reported that its staff kept seeing moose in the distance. The moose would just stare at the building, as though they were waiting for something. Its eyes bloodshot and full of cruelty.
That does sound suspicious.
And that's not all. Some of the slaughterhouse apprentices went hiking by a nearby creek and saw a moose nibbling on an unidentified carcass.
This isn't something unique. Various species of deer have been known to scavenge when plant food is scarce.
Anyway, there is more than enough evidence to justify a thorough search for the dread moose. Let's close the subject before it turns into an argument.
I don't think we're arguing here.
Here is a man who has had more than his fair share of heated arguments and would, surprising as it may seem, prefer not to have any more.
I know all about the kind green ape.
I'm guessing you heard about it from Lena. The kind green ape is one of her favorites.
A warm wave passes him. Of course, the kind green ape is her favorite, he thinks.
We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm, though, and had to spend most of our time there in a little village. The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
Jeez, Gary, keep it together.
What? South Safra? They're just on a different rung of the ladder, Morale. I had no problem with them.
Really? You kept complaining about how dirty everything is, but we digress.
They're a nascent culture. I just didn't feel comfortable. And let's change the topic, okay? Talk about your critters, or whatever.
You guys are really, like, friends?
Yes, back to cryptozoology. You don't want to sow disagreement between friends.
I know the biggest cryptid, the giant of Coconut.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
No.
Of course you haven't.
Have you seen it?
I haven't had a chance to travel to Coconut. No. And I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
Yes, sightings of mirages are constant. A mirage is a constant phenomenon that people have no time to report when a war is going on. It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
I know about the Cryobacter catalensis.
Oh, Everyone knows about that one, thanks to Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time. Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nongok.
The Nongok?
A flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nongok to run faster than any other avian, perhaps any other animal. Who knows? When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ock hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor. Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
When did she disappear?
Oh, decades ago. In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
Oh, what cryptid did you almost catch? You said before you almost caught one.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialists would find rather dull.
Willow people? Not at all.
What are the willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
He says it's self-explanatory, everyday manner.
They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
How did you almost catch one?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paints. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
And then?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
I don't know if I want to piss him off. And Lena's signing the plasmid, is that?
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
I'm sure it does. Just tell me about the cool cryptoid, any cryptoid.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
He brushes an errant strand of hair from his eyes. Enough tales, let's change the
By all
subject.
means.
I better get going. Alright, what do you know, Gary?
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
Hello, Gary.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Yeah, it's a little rough start.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about after a little probing first.
Gary, do you live in an apartment out back behind the whirling?
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates? This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Nobody's perfect. I'm sure you've been tempted by the drink.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revacol.
Pronounced it Ravacol. Everyone else has said Ravachol. His gaze shifts to the pile of soggy logs at his feet.
He pronounces Revacol with a hard K, unlike other people.
I love it when the game does that. You said Revacol?
I like to pronounce it the hard way, the old way, the Vespertine way.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's a secret rite, a very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
I can see you recognize it. It's in your eyes.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
Still seems suspicious. Did I mention this mug was found on the scene of a lynching? I mean, no reason to get hostile here. Alright, I believe you. You look like the kind of man who knows about crime to lie to an officer.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry.
Alright, that's a fine for accessing a trash container that is not owned by you. That'll be a 50 real fine.
You're not going to fine me, are you?
I really kind of want to fine him. We haven't been able to do this a single time. Alright, we'll softball him. Nah, Gary, I want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again.
Keep your nose clean, Gary. The law knows.
I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Wait, are you the Trash King? Is this a Honkai Star Rail crossover? Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Yeah, you should be ashamed.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of the murder victim, the man who was hanging behind the whirling rags, in the trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Go on.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yeah, I know a thing or two about that. Okay, what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay, I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
Oh, I know exactly where. That sounds like when we tapped on the boot. What's that strange sound? Or, you wouldn't know anything about the missing armor, would you? Yeah, what's that sound, Gary?
What sound?
Don't mess with me. I think you know what I'm talking about.
I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Gary, I thought we were friends.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles, the smell of decay.
It's quite the odd pairing there. Yeah, this is where I keep my tambourines and my condoms. Yes, the drawer to the left. You wouldn't know anything about the victim's armor missing, would you, Gary?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
Look, Gary, I'm going to level with you. I've got a quest that I need to find a piece of armor. If you've got that armor and you're stopping me from completing that quest, we're going to have problems, Gary. I want you to think about that really carefully when I ask you this next question.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation?
Okay, composure. I think we have a little bit more that we could pump that up. Do you know anything about the man who was hanged behind the whirling
I
rags?
told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I have nothing to do with that.
He shifts uncomfortably in his clothes.
He's not feeling too comfortable in his own skin. Odd, I'd say. Uncomfortable shifting around doesn't make him the killer, though. It's something else.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got the armor on. Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
There probably is a follow-up to this, but you can't think of any. Doesn't matter. Waste of time anyway. Gotta keep moving.
Wow, that was a success too. You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next racist will be a really good one?
Yeah.
Well, this is that racist.
Oh. Okay, I don't know what else to say to that. Are you, Gary? Are you a racist?
Hey, man, all I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact.
The lieutenant is a native of Ravishol.
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections.
He flashes an
Let's
impenetrable
change the
smile.
subject.
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here. If you can remember it. Return without the lieutenant. For this, your balance organ thinks it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm kind of with the self-affair. So Gary, you live nearby. Is there an apartment in Martinez?
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Are you a big man from Himjal fan?
How?
I saw the poster in your apartment. You know, I'm a Himdrol man fan myself.
But why were you in my apartment, officer?
Just doing Mr. Clare a small favor.
So you work for Everard Clare?
I hate that guy too, but
Officer,
yes.
Please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him.
Well, you're gonna have to make it up to me, Gary.
What have I done? He'll
Oh.
send the muscle after me.
Oh, you know what you
As he
did,
lowers
Gary.
his tone, he hunches his back.
Try not to shit yourself, Gary. It's just an open door.
What could it be about? I probably talked too loud. In the whirling. About some theories I had. Whatever it is, I'm done with it. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
Well, there's something you can do for me, Gary.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door opening operation.
All right, Kim. Let's not doom ourselves here. Thank you for your cooperation. Let me change my clothing briefly. Please avert your eyes. I know we have something with composure on it. I think it's our shoes. I am still wishing we had a filter for these. I wish I could just pick the stat that I'm looking for. Self-affair. Looking for yellow, orange. Yeah, shoes, composure. And pants. Alright. Gary,
Always a pleasure to see an
if you make me make a reroll here, I'm not going to be happy with you, Gary.
I mean, officers.
That's right. That's right. What's with the shifting around like that, Gary? What are you doing, Gary?
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
So, worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear, Gary. I'm a bit of a connoisseur myself.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was
He unbuttons the shirt. Keep going, Gary. Keep
I
going.
was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth. This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
Not now, Morel. Not now.
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
I think you know what you need to do, Gary.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Give me the armor now. Why did you really put the clothes in the trash? Why did you lie to me, Gary? Do you know who killed it? Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
Hold on, Morel. Hold on.
I'll explain later.
Well, he put the clothes in the trash because he's the one that stole the armor. Why did you really put the clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
I'm really glad that we're going to get a piece of armor out of this. I was actually a little annoyed by how many conversations there were here that were relatively pointless.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
No, Kim. No.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He shakes his head.
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Well, you know what you need to do, Gary, to make this right.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat.
You stink, Gary. I want you to know that you smell.
But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
All right, Gary, one more question. Do you know who killed the hanged man?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
This is all he knows.
Are we done here, Gary? Do I have to check your pants, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
No. Please continue messing with Mr. Clare. Thank you for your cooperation, Gary. I hope we don't meet again. Okay, I won't lie. That was actually a relatively well-written character for what he was. Alright, let's check him. +1 pain threshold, +1 volition, -1 empathy. What are we rocking for empathy at the moment? We're rocking a 4. You know what? You know what? I'm a bit of a fair weather friend myself, Gary. I'm a bit of a fair weather friend myself. Fairweather T500 Kirass. Replacing my +1 physical with +1 physical, +1 volition, and +1 empathy. I don't suppose that lets me reroll our volition check we failed.
Cuirass hugs your torso, shielding your vitals without adding much bulk to your form. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
Decked out in future armor like a cop ought to be. I will be responsible with this. This is to protect me from harm, not to show
The
off.
hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and voluptuous, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you.
Still my beating heart.
You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
This is the long sought after enemy technology. I can't just enjoy it. I must study it.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design.
That actually sounds really useful.
For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
That was exactly what I was thinking, Half-Life, actually. That was exactly what I was thinking, actually. Anti-Object Task Force. No, that's not it. Fairweather T500. I think we need a new slot. And we're going to internalize it. It really hurts to punch this armor. A sword wouldn't even leave a scratch. A bullet would bounce right off. Still, there must be some flaw in it that would allow you to stand your ground against this dangerous enemy technology. You just have to figure it out. Possibly by beating yourself while wearing it? Shooting yourself? Let's not go too far here. Internalize. How long is that going to take? 3 hours and 30 minutes. Also, is there some tar here that I'm seeing? Or is that just a can? What is that? Oh, 45 cents. All right, Gary, do you have anything else you'd like to admit to?
Always a pleasure. I mean,
No, you don't. Okay. Morel, do you got anything else?
We'll be on our way soon.
Did you know that Gary was hiding the armor?
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
Well, sometimes we all make bad decisions, Morel.
thanks.
All right. I am very glad I came over here to check this out. I'm still... Where the heck is the entrance to this thing? I'm still feeling like I'm missing something here. They talked about that slot when we walked by at one point. That's the only thing I can think about that we're missing. Right here, this pillbox, but there's no entrance or anything. None of those are there. We already talked to that. I feel like this is the building that we're supposed to look at for the boardwalk, but I'm just missing whatever it's supposed to be. Okay, I'll tap Uncle on that one. If anyone in chat knows where the entrance to this is, if it's not like a super spoiler, let me know. I was very confident that this was going to be it right here. This ladder. Oops, sorry, Cam. Actually, do you have anything to say about that?
Yes?
Okay. And this isn't anything I can get through even with the chain cutters, right? That's not going to help me? No. And you guys don't have anything else to say, do you?
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning?
Maybe. I want to hear about the Feld building again.
What's on
Nope.
your mind? But of course. What else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money? No, let's not. Ronald says don't worry about it. Okay, then I won't. That does bug me, though. I thought I was very clever when I came over here and looked and saw that ladder. I thought maybe I just missed a clicky. We look foolish enough to try to climb something like that. Oh, also, I had another thought today. We were calling in the very early morning. What if we called when it was a little later in the day? So I wanted to check that too. I'm gonna make a save before I do this. I probably won't die making another phone call.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter, caustic taste. Life is garbage.
Okay, nope. We're safe. Yeah, I know, cyanide, I know. But my curiosity, I can't stop it. Alright, I'm gonna check one more area. Is this something I missed? No, because we went that way. And this isn't a way over. Okay. I'm just gonna declare it okay for now. Yeah, we did a couple of phone calls before, Ronald. This is with some healing. Let's just put it that way. That's how that phone call went. Multiple phone calls. Oh! Actually, I had another thought. We never went back to this.
The letter you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the
Slide the hidden door open.
Without resistance or sound.
Okay.
The two panels move against each other. The compartment is now its Your hand shakes.
Let's just get right back out of that. No, thank you. No, thank you. I did it real late at night without Kim. Boy, did that hurt. Well, Kim didn't stop me. So I think we have at least one more phone call, I'm guessing, because we didn't really get a conclusion. So I'm guessing we have one more to talk. We know we can't open that door yet. At least not at the moment. Oh, also, we changed our pants for that conversation. We need to put our Kuno special back on. Okay, I'm not seeing any clickies here. Alright, now he said, oh, there's the trap, okay.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
It's basically a fish trap is what they built here. Look around.
Reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
Reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
Damn, I was hoping it'd be in the first one.
No, you weren't.
He's on to me. I was actually making sure I could remember where the other ones were. Cigarette butts cleaned away under the rock. Brand Tumuli. Someone made a campfire here not long ago. A rusted broken control box for the radio relay tower. The ladder's too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. Scented scarf. +1 shivers. -2 physical instrument. Interesting. Tiny inlet here off in the far distance where the post trail towards. Okay, I'm not seeing any other clickies here. So, you take mental note. Tremori seems important somehow. Okay, Tremori. All right, it said 1 by the fishing village and 1 by the lock. And as we're traveling, we're just looking for clickies. Was I able to go around that side of the church? No. And we're not going to be able to progress the church until we can get into that dang ice box. Which either is going to be spending points to get rerolls, or we need to wait until tomorrow. And I assume we'll get a reroll after it thaws some more. Okay, we have the old woman to talk to. Let's do the crypto first. Okay, 1 by the inlet, he said. So somewhere over here, I'm assuming. Yeah. Okay, this is the one. Okay, this is the last one I was thinking about.
Lies among the reeds. Another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place.
Look around.
The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. You see slabs of concrete north. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast. nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold.
Reach for the trap.
This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign.
Another empty trap.
How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself.
Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
I'll teach you the Jamrock Shuffle yet, Kim. Alright, inspect the traps. Check near the boathouses west of the Feld building. Near the boathouses. Are these the boathouses? That does not seem to be it. Near the boathouses. West of the Feld building makes me think it's way over here. Yeah, that appears to be dead end. Man, can you imagine it's like your day off and this is where your dad takes you? Oh. Is that? No, that's his new trap, right? There it is.
This trap's not too hard to spot once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist.
Look around.
Behind you, the ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidently. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows.
Reach for the trap.
Nothing but locusts in this trap as well.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done.
Bummer, it wasn't
I'm
here.
just glad we haven't found some poor cat trapped in one of these.
I mean, I assume the entrance is relatively small if they're trying to catch us a stick bug.
This is the last of the traps. The one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality.
Slice, I don't know if that's exactly fair. I don't know if that's exactly fair. You don't get any days off from retirement? That sounds kind of like don't threaten me with a good time. Alright, look around.
Reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake. It's good the cryptozoologists left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow.
Reach for the trap.
The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here.
Look closer.
No locust. No phasmid either, but still.
Look closer still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap.
Hold on. We know your eyesight's bad, Kim.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked the trap up and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
Actually, I do get the feeling that someone or something messed with the trap.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not.
But what if it was the phasmid? What if it ate them and got out?
Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We are not cryptozoologists, we are cops.
A cold gust of air dries your sweaty face, and you look to the dark shadow, the Feld building in the distance, drawing you to it. What a strange sensation. Once this is done, should you try to ask again?
Ominous autosave. Hey, your kid didn't go over there and mess with that trap, did he?
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning?
No. Alright, you don't have anything more to say, right? Maybe somebody was overhearing
Once a
us.
slogan used to...
No. Maybe somebody overheard us and they went to go look, like somebody that might be hiding in here. Okay, so what do we have? Last trap was empty. Go to Morel and the Whirling in Rags with the news. Okay, that's ice cream. We're not getting that one. We've already passed the point of no return. We tried to offer the figure. We need to progress ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice creams. Ice cream. Yeah, it's all ice cream, guys. It's all making sense now. Ice cream all the way down. Ask the scab leader about tattoos. I think that's a really bad idea. Old woman key. Determine where shot came from. I'm sure the boardwalk one is in here. Check Land's End for bullet traces. We were at Land's End and we didn't find anything, though. I'm going to give that a once over one more time. Did I miss something there? I thought I was being very diligent with my check. Unless it's in that door that I'm not able to open. But when we looked at the door, it told us that it couldn't have come from there because the church is in the way. That is this check right here, and I'm pretty certain we cannot make this one.
Door worn by elements guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it.
Yeah, could this structure have been used to take the shot?
To the whirling? I can't see how.
Yeah, okay. Well, that was a big no. Okay, this is Land's End, I believe. There's the trap. I'm tapping tab as I'm moving around here. I mean, maybe they climbed up here anyways and they took a shot. Oh, here we go. Maybe I did miss something.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower to take the shot?
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
It does look extremely rickety, and wouldn't help much either.
Okay, we got a comment about these. What about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental
see?
note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast.
Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator?
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fire this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out Biddable Prime, was it?
Look over the water to the Rolling in Rags.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air. You see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the Whirling in Rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender.
Okay. So, island we can't get to yet because the boat won't go out on the waves. We can't find our way into the Felds building yet, so I guess we go talk to the cryptozoologist. At least we did a solid for Lena. Even if the drunks did steal my pen. And we're at 18.96 cash, so we probably wouldn't even be able to afford staying even if I wanted to. Yeah, let's do the cryptozoologist first. I'm kind of worried that when I open that door to the old lady's place, we're going to progress something. Although, maybe I need to know if we have a place to stay or not, because I'm going to need to either find more cash or find something to sell. All right, old lady, you win.
A policeman. What can our village do for you?
Actually, is that free room still available?
Change your mind, did you?
I did, actually.
I thought you might. Won't find a better deal than free. Don't
True.
make this old woman regret giving the police the key to her house. Here.
All right, thank you, Grammy. Let's see what you got.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
Unlock the shack door with the key.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement and look for any signs of Ruby. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the Whirling in Rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
I should have saved before we entered here. There we go. Okay, we got stuff. What? The floorboard creaks under your step. Alright. We have Korojev jacket, +1 logic.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, such as it is, without the expression. It's just hairy.
It's just Harry. You see the waves, the sea, the church. Old science fiction magazines, books about bird watching, an almanac from 39.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
I don't think so. Lose the chops? I'd rather lose my life. Is shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. A fresh start looms ahead. Clean yourself up and be born anew.
I'm gonna have to think about that hand-eye coordination. The stash stays on, as far as I'm concerned.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others.
I want to say I'm very nervous with this exhaust contraption they have here for the chimney. That looks very burnable.
The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Move the board aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though.
Ooh, more cash?
Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
I hope someone's not pissing under the floorboard. Search the stand in
You
sawdust.
stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
Ooh.
A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. Like your own Villiers pistol, for example.
Oh, okay. Nope, I was wrong. I was thinking it was going to be a bullet for the breech loader, that they had hidden the weapon here at some point. This bullet isn't for a breech loader like the murder weapon?
The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops.
The intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum.
Listen.
The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
Ooh, yeah, you know that feeling when like you're tucked into bed all warm and it's late at night and there's like a snowstorm blizzard going on outside and the wind's just a howling and like all of a sudden your bed feels like 10 times as comfy? That's that feeling right there.
What is this place to you?
Excuse me? Hello? That's a new voice. My new hangout where I could silently sit, drink, and die while looking at the waves roll in. My forward base for the coastal part of the operation. It's free, that's good enough, I could live here. A possible resting spot for my fugitive is what it is. Looks like this is my new home. Wonder where the old one went. A possible resting spot for the fugitive, that's what it is.
Waves crash onto the beach, drowning the reeds. Far to the south, a congregation gathers to a soup kitchen in a shelter for the homeless. An old woman gives out knitted scarves for free.
We found a scarf. Wait a minute, we found a scarf that smelled like something. There was something about smell. Because I asked and I said, no character's been mentioned as having a particular smell. And it wasn't like sweat. It was like orchids or lilies or something.
Far to the southeast, 2 men and a woman dress themselves in ceramic armor. A shortwave radio hisses on the windowsill. One makes a salute. The other downs a drink. Weapons under the bed. A middle-aged man stands in a rundown shack on the edge of a fishing village. Nothing nods. No one salutes him. No sight of the fugitive.
Thank you, Strange Sensation, for a fair assessment of the current situation.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Revachol forever.
I don't know about that stretcher, Harry. Don't pull something. What's this gonna
The
do?
bed is comforting, if a bit.
No. We're not ready for that. All right, old woman. I found your depot. Oh, he was standing out of the rain or snow. That's actually a nice little detail there. Hey, Kim, I found a bullet. Do you have anything you want to talk about? No, you're cool. Does my gun say anything about that? Yeah, we just, like, immediately loaded that. So, tools, gun. Okay, it doesn't say anything here, but I've got two bullets now. We need to find a third.
Lieutenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I found your hidden ammo, Granny. Why was there a bullet under the floorboards?
Damn that girl.
Ah ha ha!
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you?
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her.
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl.
J-Rob says, and then I started blasting. Well, I don't know if you caught last episode, but we almost got blasted. That was a really intense moment, actually. I did not think we were going to survive that encounter, and we, by rights, should not have. Luckily, Harry apparently is a drunk that loses his ammunition.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday?
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Kim, she must have heard your Kanema.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
His voice is tinged with pride. Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No,
The truth, sire.
What was she like, Ruby?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in mind.
Aye, do tell.
That has a different connotation now that I read it here. It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
This.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
I heard she was a heavy drinker with her anger issues. Have you ever witnessed that kind of behavior?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself the way some people do.
Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made.
Ruby's out there trying to get people to listen to her mixtape.
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
Where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Further up the coast we go. This place is huge. It'll be a needle in a haystack. Wipe your brow. Man, I really was hoping she'd be hiding in the village. Are you sure she didn't go elsewhere more pleasant? Further up the coast we go then.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The Feld electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
Oh. Okay, I had a few more
What
questions.
more do you want?
Enough.
Yes.
Okay, we're done.
One thing.
We should have another look at the mural. Like the ladder next to the mural. You doubted me, chat. You doubted me. I know it. You didn't say it, but I could feel it. Babel is never wrong. Given enough time, he is always proven right. Okay, we're gonna go talk to Lena first, though. Again, I feel like we're really coming close to a head here. So I do want to turn in what I can turn in. We need some conversations to also finish up our thought. We're only 21% into fair weather. Man, we have our gun. We have our ID. We have our uniform. We have a piece of armor. I'm feeling pretty good. I know Pride Before Fall, Tower of Babel and all that, but still, I'm feeling pretty good. We got to sing the sad song. No, I don't mean to brag, person I don't know, but I do have this new cool piece of armor.
I can't.
Okay, you got nothing to say? How about you? Nothing to say? Okay. Fine, be that way. Morel?
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Alright. Mass radio can't be trusted.
Am I ever so grateful to you, officer? But I'm...
Okay, yeah. We all love Lena, I got it.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, ma'am.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
Oh, is this a 3-legged crow, perhaps?
You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Oh, you know that's not true, Lena.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on, tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Okay, all weirdness and grumpiness aside, way to go, Morel, supporting your wife like that.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Get this down, Kim. This might be important for the case.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
All right, continue.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
Wow, got respect from Half-Light.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
And then what? Oh, that wasn't related to her story.
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
Why do I feel like this is like a spec op dude in armor, like what we're wearing, and then he has like a camo suit on? You were on a date?
Our first, yes.
The woman looks at her husband tenderly.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
The limbs were white?
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Do you think you imagined it?
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
So she couldn't have made it up or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, "Lena, you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here." They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
I have to say, the voice direction in this is excellent. You don't get just like really amazing voice acting by just hiring like a good voice actor. Like you really have to have people working with them and like giving them direction on that. This has been so good, like primo voice acting in here. I really have to say. Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, ma'am.
Oh,
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And that's all for now. I do want to double check.
Oh,
Are we
hello,
done?
sweetie.
We done? Are we done?
Ha ha! Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
All right, Tut. Talk to you later, man.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
All right, Morel. I checked all the traps.
Good. Okay. And?
One of them was empty.
Completely empty?
Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locust, no plasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal.
The empty trap was the one at your campsite. Maybe this factors into it somehow.
Definitely left that one stocked.
Right from the campsite? Just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct.
Of course, more clever.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locust and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure.
Or Ruby, who's hiding out in that building, was really curious what you were doing, or was really hungry and came over there to see what was in the trap.
Another trip to the Reeds.
I have no reason to poop on their parade. They seem like nice people. Yes, that's exactly what it is. What a deft hunter, this plasmid.
Of course. Be sarcastic.
Oh, that's not what I
Unless
meant.
you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture, mine stands. Okay?
Where was my parentheses sarcastic to warn me? I actually meant that heartfelt.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Where's the Cryptozoologist K run achievement? That's what I want.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be afoot.
Mm-hmm.
Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently.
Very high. Sure.
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
I think the little hooligan called Kuno might have stolen... Well, I was saying Ruby, but sure.
A little hooligan? But what would a child want with bugs?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
I'll talk to that little gremlin and see if anything comes up.
Delinquents, my favorite.
It doesn't sound like it's really his favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
The case of the missing insects,
Well,
that's awesome.
I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
Oh,
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs. Morel, it's been fun, really. But I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of Sue's Reinty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
He keeps the language unemotional, but it's in there.
Gary's just a true gamer at heart.
Always a pleasure to see, officers.
All right, he's trying a little bit. All right, I don't think I have anything else to say to him here, so I think we're good. All right, gremlin time. Also, do we have any tar? I don't remember. I'm gonna go check that quick while we're here. If we can't make the 20, I think I will probably stay in the shack. I don't know. There might be an achievement for not staying in the shack. It's just what I'm thinking.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says...
Okay,
No.
okay. I have the bag, but no tar. Can I still use the machine? All right, Kuno, come here. All right, hurry up and demonetize my video for me.
Fuck does Kuno care?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about a missing locust, would you?
No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
Yep, that's it, Kuno. You're under arrest for being incredibly lame. Now hold on. No one's lame here. Just tell me what happened.
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
Lame. That rings some bells. Could this be connected to Night City? AKA, the City of Rage.
Kuno, is this about Rage City?
Oh god, Kuno, no! It's gonna happen now. They're gonna make you lame.
That's it. It's the lamening.
Stop it, see. No one's gonna make anyone lame. Kuno's got this under control.
There's definitely something going on here. You should check out Kuno's shack. The one with the pig's head.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Yeah, I can tell how much you don't care, Kuno. I can definitely tell. I'm just gonna go over here for no particular reason. It's crawling with locusts in here.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows.
Oh, you make a little bug city?
Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, Detective, it appears you've solved the case.
I'm not gonna brag, Kim, but I've solved like 3 cases since we got here.
Of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
That's precisely what I was thinking!
Yes. I feel we are nearing a real breakthrough.
You think the Elysium phasmid is nearby?
If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist.
Ah, you were on the trail there, Kim, but you dropped the ball at the last moment.
But what do I know?
That's what I'm saying.
Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The phasmid is impairing your judgment.
There's buggy powers. We should talk to Kuno about this. Get him to stop.
Let you handle the...
I seem to remember somewhere, I don't remember where I picked this up, because I don't think it's from this playthrough, but I seem to remember that Kim used to work in, like, the juvenile division or something. I think that's why he doesn't like having to work with delinquents anymore. I don't know where I picked that up, or if I dreamed that, or what.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Kuno, I know you took the locust from the traps the cryptozoologist set up.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
I really want to say the top one because I feel like we're kind of like baiting him into it. But then I feel like the middle one's pretty good too. You say you don't give an F about the bugs, but then you built them a bug town.
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Oh, yeah, I'm not implying that, Cyanide. I just meant for my own information there.
Stop!
Do we finally defeat Kuno SA with locusts?
Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the night city he mentioned when you asked him where he's been.
So that in there is Night City, huh?
Yeah, Locust City. City of rage. City of lights.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort.
City of Rage sounds like a cool place.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're...
An artist. Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
That's true. That's true. He's the first person, not the third person. Hold on, did I hear you right? You just said I. That's great, Kuno. You'll make a cool artist. Actually, let's go with that. We're really actually trying to help this kid a little bit. I think Harry sees a little bit of himself in this kid in his just self-destructive act. That's great, Kuno. It's cool to make art.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
He tears at the buttons of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give way.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
So that's what this is about.
I mean, we don't really have any interest in whatever the girl's up to, right? I mean, she said she murdered people, but I don't think that's actually the case. That depends on the choices you make. I kind of want to say me and Kuno have discussed this to drive a wedge between the two of them, because we haven't discussed this. This one feels more truthful, though. Let's try the truthful route.
Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
Okay, that was not what I was trying to get out of this conversation. I'm less concerned about that, if I'm being honest. I have to ask, what does the city of Locust mean?
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck.
He turns his burning face up to the falling snow.
Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important. The locusts are bait.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
What's gonna happen to the locusts?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
Okay, now that that's settled, I'd better be off.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway?
The Insulindian Phasmid.
He recognizes the name.
Wait, you know about the Insulindian Phasmid?
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
Okay, the good ending for Kuno is he gets adopted by the cryptozoologist. You got anything else to say, Kuno?
Fuck does Kuno care?
No.
Kuno doesn't...
Yeah, you care a little bit, Kuno. Alright, you got anything else to say now?
I'll die before I squeal.
Nope. Oh, alright then. Alright, what do we need to do? Okay, talk to the cryptozoologist. Oh, okay. I didn't finish the thought earlier. we found a scarf, right, for clothes. And it mentioned a scent, right? Scented scarf. I think it was the Ruby's cab, and we said something about we smelled something, and I commented that we hadn't heard anything about anything that smelled other than like sweat and shit. So that's suspicious, is what I'm saying.
Sweetie. So nice to see you again.
You're all good.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
I had a chat with this kid, Kuno. He promised to stop stealing your locus.
So he was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
She acts chipper, but something's changed in her tone. A hidden worry. Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid or the missing locus. It's something else.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
That's just something people tell themselves when they fail.
Man, I'm really feeling this is costing me time on my main investigation. It's not worth the risk of your help. Maybe you should call it a day and go home. I'd offer to help, but I have my own things to do. Damn, maybe I can restock the traps for you? Or, we've come too far to quit. I'm going to restock the traps. Let's do this. Maybe I can restock them for you.
You can? Fine. It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
All right, Kim. I promise.
He wants to see this tale through as much as you. Otherwise, he'd have stopped this already. But he cannot let it drag out after this.
Really? It's too much, officer.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
Here's a fresh batch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but,
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center.
All right, I gotta get going. Do we literally just have a box of locusts now? Of course we do. A corduroy box with several holes in the lid. Though at first glance the box seems perfectly ordinary, upon closer examination it's obvious it's been prepared with great care. Okay, what do we need to do with this? Restock the trap you left empty before. Trick is to remember which one it was. Well, that's easy. It's one by Feld. I love Kuno. Yeah, I think we're getting through to him. I think maybe we could have actually split the two of them apart there if I'd picked a little differently. But I felt like the choices we picked were better for Kuno. I mean, minus the speed thing. A lot of kids with like ADHD or just, not even ADHD, just kid energy, they focus a lot better when they have like a project to work on with their hands. And, you know, a lot of kids these days, they're just not made to sit in a chair for 8 hours straight. No wonder that kids start acting out when you're expected to do something like that. I mean, none of us want to sit still for 8 hours, especially on something that you don't find interesting. Hold on a second. You don't have anything new to say, do you?
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning.
Kim's presence makes it awkward.
What's on your mind, officer?
You're crimping my style, Kim. Crimping my style. Okay. Bug trap. Re-examine mural. Those are our two leads at the moment. Bug trap is gotten to via... this way? Hey, Epic, how's it going? Hope the case cracking's been good. We're making progress, I feel. We're making progress. I think that wasn't the right one. Up here. That one right there.
The trap stands empty near the reeds, powdered with snow. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds' apprehensive hissing.
Release the locust into the empty trap.
The locusts, dazed from being transported. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good, now that's done. Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
Are we really done with it? Now you restop. Report to Lena in the whirling. Oh my goodness, you're really gonna make me run back and forth? Alright. Yeah, like I said, I kind of wish we had a little bit of a fast travel between at least the fishing village and whirling. Epic says it's been good flying out tomorrow morning, so I've been packed. I don't think you've mentioned you were traveling. Where are you going, Epic? Business or pleasure? All right, come on, Lena. Give me the good news here. Neither it's a funeral. Ah, that sucks, man. My condolences. I'm trying to think if we have any other loose... I guess the icebox. The icebox is the only other loose thread we really have at the moment. We could put points into re-rolling it. We can do 2 more, and then we're out of re-rolls, though. Hey, Lena.
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face.
I restocked the empty trap. Where's Morel?
Thank you for doing that, dear. Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
Only the hardcore players left, huh? It's probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in the reeds.
I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
So who's going to help check the traps?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
Once more into the breach, then.
That really is too much, sweetie.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Lena, what's wrong? You seem different.
Different? How?
The half moons of her glasses reflect up at you as she looks up. Answering a question with a question, for example. Defensive isn't her usual style.
You're not telling me the whole story.
I'm not. It's not that.
She doesn't know how to end the sentence. What is it?
It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
Lena, don't tell me you were the gunman.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream?
Hunching her shoulders now. She seems even smaller than she is. Like a sad young girl.
Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
But Morel told me you'd seen it. You also told me.
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
So you're saying you haven't seen it? I should arrest you for lying? You seem to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something?
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too.
That I am a queen? An extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
First, tell her that her marriage hasn't been a lie. Well, I don't think we're to that point, Lena. Yeah. She's been nothing but kind to us.
An acorn
Good job,
is
Harry.
the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
And I need something good here.
All qualities these two seem to share in abundance.
Wrong or not, your relationship with Morel isn't just about the Phasmid.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the Phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple.
I mean, you could be like Harry and just be alone.
If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
Morel hated lecturing. You convinced him to do something real in the world.
But if the dream comes to naught, what good is it? No, the thing is, I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived on our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
If that was almost a spoiler warning, Ronald, tell me after the playthrough's over.
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
He'd still be into you. That's not how these things work.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time.
Lena, I have to confess, a drunk took your 8-pin. I'm sorry.
What you have to know is the Insulindian Phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
To hell with this. I still believe the Phasmid. Thing is, you're not sure you made it up either. Okay, it's a false memory. Doesn't that mean all cryptids aren't real? Chase another one. You're right about all of it. I need to get back to my work. Yeah, to hell with this. I still believe you saw the Phasmid.
A true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it. How it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Are you sure you don't need help getting into Gary's?
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered.
Nice.
And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
You do that, I'll check the traps one more time.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
Can I have your address, just in case there's news?
Okay. It's 1113 Tabernacle Road. Jamrock, but...
Be careful out there, Lena. It's been a pleasure. The rest of it's pretty grim. Thanks for bringing some light.
You're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad it helped you, even though it turned out to be a...
She flicks the switch on her chair and the engine turns on with a whirl. The sentence remains unfinished.
A waste of time. A dream. A lie. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, the cold, coastal wind blows.
We should go to...
Somewhere out there, a kilometer to the southeast, a gust of wind shakes the felled building, rattling dusty windows, beckoning with strange coldness, to ask the wind once more.
All right. This was not how I saw the first hour or so going. 2 hours of this going. But we're getting there. Do I want to take a swing at the ice box? What are we sitting on? 3 points? And I don't have a reroll currently, correct? Washerwoman's suggestion. Gaston. That's a no, but where's the ice maker? There it is. Heroic. Let's take a swing at it. Do we have any other physical instrument? I know we do. We have, what, gloves? Are we wearing those? No, it's Half-Life. Pain threshold. Okay, so we need our tank top for physical instrument. What was my other one? I thought it was gloves. Pain threshold. Oh, eight-eyed tricorn tie. +1 Inland Empire, +1 Volition. I'm actually kind of tempted to actually switch our tie out. +1 Inland Empire? Yeah. Lena wouldn't lead me astray. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's all coming together. We're not running a thought that's giving us a bunch of minus to that, are we? We are. Okay, no. I'm glad I checked that first. We need to wait 12 hours before we make an attempt there. JK, I was just testing you guys. Let me change my stuff back. Perception, composure. I'd rather have the perception on. And if we're doing that, then that's probably my best pair of pants, isn't it? Let me switch that on. Reaction speed, rhetoric. Okay. Yeah, it's all coming together. Okay, check the traps. What else do we have? Check the Feld building. Sino, the tie hasn't done much. The tie hasn't done much. People were just not interested. I don't have enough Inland Empire, is what that actually means. I'm sure on another playthrough, the tie has a lot to say about things. I know a lot of people have done Inland Empire playthroughs just from watching the beginning of others. To be fair, if I hadn't seen other people had already done it a ton, that would be one of the more interesting ones. Relax, it's not yours. Didn't crash every MC in Ravishal, hopefully. I mean, that is hopeful. Oh shoot, we ran past one of the traps, didn't we? Did we actually have a thing to check them again? Or are we actually done? It's highlighting. Is there still one down here? There is.
The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Most of...
Okay. I can actually check them, so I'm gonna check them. Which means I skipped the one over by the crossing. Oh my goodness. The Phasmid episode, apparently. We know there's hidden tasks, though, so there's a non-zero chance that this might actually do something. There's a couple of really funny combos, but who wants to spoil it trying to schizomax your internal monologues? Yeah, that's like a second playthrough type thing, you know? Not that I'm going to stream it or anything anytime soon, but if I ever do another playthrough, then I'll actually look a few things up. Like, I'm sure that there's some skills that are just, like, flat out better than others.
The trap is full of locusts.
Okay, nothing there. So far, I have to say, I find it interesting that because I went with high motorics, we haven't put a lot of points in motorics. So our low stat is where I've actually ended up putting most of our points. Kind of an interesting system. I have to say, I really like it. I like the idea of if you get too high in a stat, it's also bad, just like having it way too low. And I like the idea that you can put points into things to get rerolls. So if you're in one of those playthroughs where you just get really lucky, then you don't have to put any points in it. It's kind of like RPG systems where you only get XP if you fail on skills. That's another kind of interesting way to do it. Full drug binge, yeah. Clears the game fast because of the bonus points. I'm sure, yeah, we're not getting any of those bonus stats. Okay, let me ask you. You can answer this. When you take the drugs or you smoke or something, does it give you rerolls, or is it just like changing clothes?
Just dead and...
Okay. Also empty. Also, hey, Sino. It's been a hot minute. We did the cryptozoologist run this time, apparently. Alright, trap, Feld building. I thought I was being really clever when I thought that maybe it was Ruby. I wouldn't have guessed Kuno all the way over here. Come on. Probably go up there. Can't remember. Ah, it's fine. I'm not gonna fall off the wagon. I really like that we had that dialogue with Kim when we confiscated the drugs off of pigs. And Kim's like, dude, maybe you should let me hold on to those. That was a nice little touch. Okay, last trap. Come on, Phasmid. Come on.
A few locusts trudge along the wall of the...
No, nothing. Can't believe it. Alright. Alright, Kim. A quick 2-hour detour to start the stream off, but now we're back on the case, alright? No more messing around with your cryptoid obsession. I'm sorry, man. We gotta focus.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Step closer.
Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Why do I feel like I know this place?
Indeed. Somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin, gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light. You felt it before, when it rained in Martinez, and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It has been in you ever since.
Could Ruby be in here?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
A shivers check. Listen to the wind. Very high, 97%. We found the empty traps. We've heard Lena's true story. We reconstructed the execution. We made an awful call. We confronted pigs, +3 death notification. We found the jacket. That's a big check.
Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead. No rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
What was I even trying to do here?
Trying to talk to the wind. The city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
I feel like we've done it before, yes, logic. Kim, she could be anywhere. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least.
I actually did mean that comment, Slice. I don't have a good pair of winter boots. My other ones wore out last winter, and I've been, like, too busy to stop and pick something up, and I've just been hoping we don't get a major snowstorm. So far, it's held out, but I still have a couple more months of possible snow weather, so I'm sure I'll have a story of regret for you at some point. It's crazy how much bigger the game feels compared to when it was played back on launch in the times. You know, Sino, that's a good point, actually. Before I started, I looked up on, like, howlongtobeat.com or whatever, how long a playthrough was. And it said, like, 25 hours average. We're at, like, 35 hours. I'm like, how the hell am I this slow? It's because I'm listening to the voice acting. if you were reading this and skipping a little bit of dialogue, you could beat this really quickly, I assume. She's probably north of the village in the peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our cryptoid hunt, so we have an understanding of geography at least.
And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
And what if it fails? Can we find her?
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
He looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm.
The coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast.
I feel like we make the roll here. I mean, the one thing we haven't done is the red check on the bunker. That's like literally the only thing we haven't done. I guess we can check that. Unless the bunker lights up here. Bunker's the little slit thing right there is not lighting up. It is 12:40. Maybe we check the phone again. Unless we have like a major bonus to getting that bunker door open. I think we've done everything. I've been very thorough when we've gone through here.
A yellow plastic dome.
Bunker check is worth.
On the tip of your tongue.
I appreciate the tips, I know, but please, nothing that could lead me anywhere. We'll check it to be sure.
Life is garbage.
Life is garbage. All right, let's check it. Yeah, I don't mind if people who have not played want to throw some ideas out, but if you have played, please just let me stumble in the dark. I do, well, the problem is I'm running that idea right now with -2 physical instrument. That's just killing me. I'm trying to get sober. It's very hard, it turns out. Yeah, we got 11 hours to go. Bad timing on that one. All right, do we have a bonus?
An old door worn by elements guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune.
If we... Oh no, hold on a second. Was that was not physical instrument. Interfacing? I mean, I've got gloves that do interfacing, and I don't think I have anything else. I'm not equipped with any currently. Solve a fair. Reaction speed perception. Okay, interfacing gloves. I mean, we could throw a reroll or two into it, but I'm just worried about that ice machine, because we know we need the ice machine. Exposure. Fair. Reaction speed. I think this is my only... Man, can you imagine going through the playthrough without the yellow gloves? This has been pretty vital for us a couple times.
An old door worn by elements guards the depot.
Interfacing 6, and it's still very low.
The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
Alright, let's... We've put 1 point into interfacing. I guess we could give it 1 point. That leaves us 2 level ups guaranteed for physical instrument. So we're guaranteed to get our max number of rerolls. I still would like to maybe put 1 more into rhetoric. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we'd have to roll a 12. Yeah, so it wouldn't actually increase. It would still be the 3%. Yeah, you are right. That's not going to change the odds. All right, we'll shoot our shot. I'm not going to put that many points into it, so.
The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door.
Whoops, I always hit tab when I want out of those. Maybe if we put our tool on, would that affect anything? Our big can opener on. No, you're not like a big camera. This is a boombox, Harry.
An old door worn by elements.
Nope. All right.
The depot. The
all right. No confidence on this one, builders.
Of it. But you rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door. with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
Huh, the door is shut tight. How do we get in there?
We don't get in there.
What do you mean? We get into, like, everywhere. No. Come on, we even got into that light-bending guy's container, but you're saying we can't get in here?
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
Well, not with that attitude, Kim.
No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everard knew that's a part of our MO.
I am the human can opener, literally in this case. Okay, I can live with this. I'm not going to accept this. This door could be part of the investigation.
Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in.
He looks at the door with a rueful smile.
At least you can think about opening it. About doors in general. They are, after all, fundamental to your life. Perhaps something useful would come from this.
Okay, that could be something. One more door. +1 half-light. That's pretty good. We haven't put a lot of points into him, and it's a super fast research. God damn it, it can't be a disgrace, that door on the coast. You remember the one, right? The one that led to the abandoned supply depot? Why in the name of all holy does it not open? Why? There has to be some way to get through the unopenable door. By gods, you're the police. All doors are supposed to open before you. What will others at the precinct think if you can't open a door? There must be a way. All right, you got me. One more door. Internalize. The other one I was thinking about was this one. Finger pistols. It's only an hour of research time. I think we're gonna do that one too. I feel like we're kind of nearing the end, so I kind of want to get a few more unlocks here. So, finger pistols. There's so many here. How many playthroughs would it take to do every one of these? Like 5 playthroughs? 6 playthroughs? That'd be crazy. Hardcore Aesthetic, I saw that name. Alright. Can opener, put it away. Alright, we need to do another Shivers check. And actually, we should put our Shivers gloves back on, if that's the case. Or no, not Shivers. Half-light gloves. Hopefully, we will get that armor today. We have the time in the day. I just need to have enough conversations. That's kind of what I'm worried about. The real reward for internalization is the dialogue you get. Yeah, some of them are really cool. The writing is so good in this game. Alright, Billboard. What are you trying to tell me? I still feel like we need to get in here because of that interactable on the roof.
Saying,
do it.
Electrical. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it.
Where does it go?
In through the collapsed roof.
See?
Down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs. And then the beach below the boardwalk. Its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
What is happening?
She's down there.
I think she's down there, below this building.
Okay. Why?
The wind told me, ever since I woke up, maybe even before, I've been getting these strange cold spells. Let's go 3.
Good. Yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there?
Yes, I can literally talk to my hangover. That's how bad it's gotten. The wind told me, call it a gut feeling. Call it a gut feeling.
So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
Oh no, I just turned on a thought that gave me a penalty. There's a ladder next to the sign. Perhaps we can climb it?
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
Oh no. What timing? What horrible timing. Bonus from thoughts -3. Oh, Babel. Okay. We have some savoir-faire that we can get on some clothing. That's a -1. I know we have at least the shoes, right? Logic. I really hope this is a white check, and I really hope we don't have to take all of our free points into rerolls here. Oh, -1 savoir-faire. No. There's our +1. So we're still at -1. Oh my goodness. And I literally just put that thought on. And I don't think we have much. I mean, I guess we could go become a racist with Measurehead. That would be some conversation we could do. How long did I say you were? It was really short. It's 57 minutes. I don't have a book we can read. Well, I mean, okay, let's see what the check is before we get too depressed here.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Assess the situation.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180?
180 seems about right.
Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead...
I did get spoiled because, you know, when you do things on YouTube, it starts suggesting you more of the same. And so it was Everett, and it was a short or something, and it's really just, so Harry, I've heard you're a racist now. Okay, what else could we do?
What if you were to do something more subtle? What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
What?
Astral projection. Be
okay.
Open-minded about this.
What if I can't climb? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
It won't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now.
Okay, here we go. Man, if we weren't running those thoughts, we would have an 8 in this stat, just to throw that out there. Okay, it is a white check, assuming I don't kill myself.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is...
do it.
Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear. Your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
Don't gloat. Just stand there like a Samarian master.
You know, for the record, you didn't teleport there. You just climbed the ladder with your eyes closed.
That's called teleportation, Kim.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear...
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring without backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Alright, hang on, Kim. I gotta change again. Visual calculus. Fair. Logic minus authority. I think I've been rocking those ones mostly. Don't need the extra encyclopedia, really. Visual calculus isn't bad. That's fine. Pants are fine, boots are fine. What else did I change? I thought I changed 2 things. Oh, I put on the pants. That's probably fine. Well, composure. Let's put some more composure on. Alright, what do we got? I knew when I saw this was interactable there was a way to get up here. I was just ahead of the times. The central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. Alright, no hobo change up here. Stones Fall, it's a long ways down. Okay. You know what? We should probably have a flashlight and maybe a gun.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm.
I think my hand recognizes it.
It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. Sheathe your sidearm, officer. A serious law official, cop by the book, should know to only unholster their service weapon when using it is unavoidable.
Alright, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, there could be hobos or something in here. We don't want to be gun crazy. The glass is covered with grime and dust. You can barely see out. Postcard. Faded picture of the postcards at the end of the last century shows Martinez as it was before the revolution. In the height of the summer, Rue de Saint-Ghislain is teeming with a parasol-wielding bourgeoisie, and wild pines flag buttress the walkway. Nothing is written on the back. Antiquated office furniture, last century maybe. Brought down and forgotten so long ago. This collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. This overturned table is covered in orange mildew, crawling with something. Right, we're looking for a way to let Kim in. Here we go.
2 rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
Who's there?
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
Push the door open.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the 2 metal panels slide open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that.
How did you even get there?
After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain. It was easy to miss before.
You just wanted to see me climb, didn't you? Because there's no way you couldn't have seen that, or you could see that with your bad eyesight. Could have saved me the effort.
At least now we have an exit, so let's get going. It's time to investigate these passages.
Alright. I still feel like you did that on purpose, Kim. I'm not gonna lie. Old file folders in the cart, documents silvered with mold. Beam of flashlight, crevice in the wall. Revolutionary hat. The Mazovian social economics. Stale fabric smell and dust. No one slept here in months, maybe years. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed. Ancient flyers and brochures. Okay, that's the slit that we saw. Yep.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait.
It's Krasmavov, the idol of the murdering traitors.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
A long time ago? How long?
Half a century. This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
What's all the secret weapon caches and secret bunkers?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Maybe I should move in here. Seems cozy.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
Could be connected to Mazov's bust we found in the student's room.
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
The youths. Could someone have stopped by here recently?
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Brush off the dust.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains stick into the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
Old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his finger against the glass of a scope. You shudder. Okay.
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary? This does look like an embrasure, a slit made for shooting out of.
Peek out.
Outside the window, the day is clear and as mild as can be in early spring.
Could the killer have used this hideout?
It's a great place to hide. And Masovianism and murder are certainly not mutually exclusive. But there hasn't been anyone here in ages.
Kim, I can't see the rolling in rags. The shot didn't come from here.
Indeed. No one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. I like thorough. In fact, I think we're done with this bunker.
There are pots and plates full of dust and spiderwebs. Okay, I agree, Kim. We are done in here. A series of thick, dusty panes of glass. Insulsory suit jacket, +1 suggestion. Okay, footprints I'm noticing. Boot prints in the sand. One of the soles appear more worn than the other. There's something in the air, an unnatural buzzing. The tunnel collapsed. You'll have to find another way around. It's getting louder, buzzing sound. We did hear a weird buzzing that morning outside the whirling.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
Lieutenant, do you feel something?
No. What do you mean?
A pain, a strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
I saw them too. Footprints with the right sole worn smooth.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully.
What do you mean?
Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
Oh.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Okay. Let's readjust our seat cushion. If we're going to have to be thinking carefully. Ugh. Okay, we found out Everett's plan to take over the harbor. Maybe we should just tell Joyce about it. We've checked the buoy with Cloyce's documents. I want to hear her take on why it was empty. Okay, so we have a couple... Okay, so these are kind of telling me... These are telling me things that maybe we haven't done yet, because we haven't told Joyce about that. So maybe I need to check in with Joyce. We haven't checked back in with Classe. Okay.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. It's dangerous, but...
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
We checked the buoy with Clause's documents. I want to hear her take on why it's empty.
Okay, why not? Whatever goes down might also affect her. The Union is watching her closely now.
Not closely enough, you suspect. But still, good idea to visit her once more.
How bad do you think things could get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that, Kim.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
What do you think is waiting for us in there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Okay, let's go take care of those couple things that they listed there. Those sound like they might be important plot points. We are darn close is what that's telling me. We may actually be finishing tonight. That was not what I was expecting. I figured we'd have one more. Okay, so we need to talk to Joyce, who should be at the docks, Claze, who should be at Whirling, and that means if we're going to try to do the dance club, we need to get into the stupid fridge. So maybe it is time for re-rolling points. Okay, Joyce, are you still here? Also, we can put away our flashlight. I did really like when we went to the pawn shop and he actually mentioned that we had the flashlight in our hand.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
So I've been dealing with Everard again.
She's not even asking you anything. It's so easy to just say.
I don't think she needs to know any of this. Ma'am, the whole thing is a takeover.
A takeover?
Yes, it's not a strike. You aren't being let in because there's nothing to negotiate. The Union is taking the terminal. He said so in his own words. He's taking it. He'll also use the drug trade to finance the harbor.
Taking it?
She looks towards the colorful mountain of crates like toy blocks rising out of Martinez.
Green livery, changing into red, blot by blot, like a cancer of the blood, metastasizing.
Then we're talking about a war. Everard needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this.
He's ready for war. They all are.
They most certainly are not. Crenell has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people of Revachol West. It will take more than Crenell to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice?
What do you suggest I do?
Everard's pulling this. It's a bluff. Call it. Have them open fire? Let's not do that, huh? I wish there was a disco option.
I'm afraid we won't disco our way out of this one.
Cut off the snake's head. Everett's pushing all this. I mean, we know he's gonna do more drug trade, and it's definitely not helping anyone for him to do that. Cut off the head.
Like the previous leaders of the Union were assassinated. I suspect by Everard and Edgar themselves.
She considers it.
I admit there's some poetry in the idea, and like poetry, it's also useless. There would still be Edgar. They factored it in. The Union is them, and they are Martinez.
So what are you gonna do?
What will I do?
Her arms fall to her sides. Her spine relaxes.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our reality lowdown?
She did warn us that she would only tell us this when she was on her way out. Just throwing that out there. You said you would one day.
It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The last one for 400 years.
Why?
The nations who colonized this Isola called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world, or life after death. The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but had lost their minds.
Each of those expeditions would have been led by an admiral. Sounds like a purge. Like she was purging her political rivals.
Sounds political.
There was no precedent for such an undertaking. People thought she was punishing the admirals, or had gone mad, or both. Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry.
Called Volta Doma, or Return from the Sea.
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
The air is cold and scented with petrichor. There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up your back like a piano trill.
Put your hand in the rain.
So does the lieutenant. His mouth is slightly open as he looks to the sky. The droplets feel warm, like spring rain.
This ocean?
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand proclaimed, "Lancielinde, Lancielinde," the signal to wake up. But they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulindian archipelago, officer. The freckled face of God.
You've thought it a million times.
Life after life, death after death, life again. After the world, the Pale. After the Pale, the world again.
A total shift in human comprehension of reality. On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Lysergique. The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen. 4 years later, the Queen's Counsellor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high.
Leaving us here, the great skua is the first bird they saw. And this was the last break we got. It's raining. And this was the last break we got?
The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolae. Or they discovered us. All in the rush of the great inter-Islary reconnection. But these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there. Wipe out indigenous populations. Gunboat economies. Or they came to do the same for us. Or had done to each other. But here, there was no one but the skua, the Liliat Sea, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever seen. Revachol, the suzerain.
What happened?
Revolution, poverty, and the mercurial rise of capitalism.
Leaving us here.
On Caillou, the Pebble, the largest of the fertile uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. 4 centuries and 2 revolutions later.
The great skua is the first bird they saw?
The first living autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, detective. The coat of arms of the suzerain and the wings on the crest of the commune.
I seem to have it in for it, or it for me. I broke one.
In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds. Yet much like Revachol, it is also magnificent and rare. Imagine the suzerain of seagulls.
It's raining.
It is. Soon it will be spring and everything will blossom.
The gangs will run wild, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City. Spring is tough in Revachol.
What will you do?
I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
Is that within your means?
She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent for a second.
We will see.
Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes, then 4, then 100.
What happens will happen.
She takes the end of her rain-slick hand and starts untying the knot.
The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez. If you handle the situation on the ground.
She generally avoids the term with her employers. Understood, let her go. You're going now?
Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here.
She generally avoids the term with her employers.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board. Probably a partner.
You are Wild Pines. There are no employers.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
I am.
You're wrong, detective. And next time, you should confer with those superiors before you go setting events in motion.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was that important there, Kim.
Events are already in motion. Whether your actions accelerated or momentarily retarded their progress, even the lieutenant cannot really say.
Even after all this time, I still don't really understand who you are or what your angle is.
I have not deceived you. I showed you who I was. Rejoice Layton.
Understood.
Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along is Cronell's investigation?
The confrontation is imminent. They have followed in your footsteps. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. They are your shadow. Arm yourselves. Armor yourselves. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties.
When will they make their move? Where?
Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. They know I've been feeding you information. One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane. I know, because I too am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich.
We're all mad here. How do you know I'm mad? Well, you wouldn't have come here if you weren't. Little Alice in Wonderland for you there. Isn't everyone a little insane?
No, detective. No one's as insane as you.
Don't worry, madame. I am very sane.
How do you keep it together?
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola, the Volta do Mar. It's used by inter-Islary travelers and other troubled souls, even to this day.
You could use a little of it yourself.
You're over-irradiated?
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing, and I've got it bad.
Goodbye. Okay, so goodbye, Joyce L. Messier. Goodbye, Rejoice Layton. Goodbye, Nether Creature of the Forbidden Swamp. Goodbye, Rejoice Layton.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
The lieutenant watches her boat grow smaller on the bay, its white sails fluttering. With worry in his eyes, he does not know if it was the right thing to do, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
Everard has to say about this. Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue as more oxygen gets between you. One more door.
Well, now you finish.
There is no way to open the supply depot door. Accept it. You cannot open all the doors. You have to integrate this into your character. Some doors will forever remain closed, even if every single other door will open at one time or another. Maybe to a key, or maybe to some sort of tool meant for opening doors. But this one will never accede to such commands. A realization crucial to personal growth. Crucial.
Alright, what did you do me? One more door. -1 half-light, no fear. All psyche white checks unlocked. Okay. That probably gives us some reroll stuff that we need to do. Stun, no, not really. Not really. Okay. That was one. That's interesting that she chose to seed the the terminal to Everett. That is pretty shocking to me. All right, we've got Classe, we've got the stupid fridge to open. I think we'll do Classe first. How much time do I have on my other thoughts? You especially. 31 minutes. Okay. So one more good conversation, we'll probably finish that one up. The Alice quote is a bit grim when you consider that Harry is born and raised here. Yeah, but it's not wrong. You got anything new to say?
Again? I can't believe this. Okay.
Guess not a lot.
Neither can I, partner.
Let's talk about the Hangman. No, nothing new.
I don't know. Oh my god.
All right.
Yes. What?
You neither, huh? Okay. I figured we'd make some progress on the case, but I guess maybe after we actually find her. Alright, you still here or have you flown the coop? No, you're still here, okay.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
I found your buoy. It was empty, just seawater.
Oh.
Did you take the documents?
No, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me. In truth, I should have destroyed them.
She doesn't seem to be lying. She's genuinely spooked by their disappearance.
Perhaps the people who are after you took it.
They couldn't know where I put it. I'm absolutely sure I was not followed. And I've told no one but you.
Kim?
You mentioned seawater? I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch. The documents were probably just washed away.
Were they? That was not what I was expecting to get out of that conversation. I was expecting a lot more, to be honest. Okay, well, that was not the 30 minutes I thought we had. So we need to talk to Everett. I guess we could do that one next. I hate the idea that that little slime ball won. I honestly did not expect her to be like, okay, well, I guess we're giving it up. I assume that you could probably do other choices that would end that differently. Alright, get me up here. Through there. Man, if for nothing else, him making me run all the way through this labyrinth to get to him should make him the villain of this story. Come on, Harry. It's just a little cardio. Get your Jamrock shuffle on. Alright. Here we go, big boy. That's not a fishing rod, is it? I mean, it looks like a fishing rod.
So, the ship has sailed. Did you see it? I know you did. Tell me, what did it look like as it grew smaller and smaller when that mainsail dropped behind the horizon? Did it look like a germ? Did it look like a piece of bacteria?
His tone is totally different now. The jolly man of the people is gone, and so is the smile. You get a sinking feeling.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Don't worry, Harry. He does. At least I think he does.
You wanted us to relay all this information to her.
That this is a takeover? That I want a war? God, I hope you also told her about the drug trade. They absolutely hate getting their hands dirty with that. You can kill 1 million people, but if you do something the police doesn't like, well, then you're out of the yacht club. Goodbye, you inhuman fuck.
Okay, now I know why you've been so forthcoming.
Oh no, Harry. What we have is real. We're working men. This here is real.
I mean, there's tons of really good voice actors in this game, but he is definitely one of my favorite ones. He's just so slimy. So this was your plan all along, for me to relay the information to her.
Harry, I can't see into the future. We are all playing by ear on this planet. I had no idea she'd react so strongly.
But you did want me to relay this information to her.
I did. I knew the negotiations would go better with police officers telling her horror stories from inside the harbour. It's scarier this way. Turns out it was a magnificent strategy. I never thought it'd so fundamentally fuck her up.
How do you know she left?
Harry, I bunked her cabin. I bugged her whole boat. I had cameras surveying her boat. Hell, I even wanted to bug that thermal cap, but my boys advised against it.
They must have done it while Joyce was busy questioning the locals.
So you've been listening to our conversations all the time?
Not me personally. I had guys recording and processing this information for me.
The Hardy Boys?
Hell no. They'd fuck it up. They can't do anything right. I mean my real boys. My special task force boys.
It's pigs, isn't it?
Where are these boys?
They sure as hell aren't hanging out in the open with beers in their hands for the cops to question. They're pros, Mr. Kitsuragi.
You used me.
Harry, you made a conscious decision to relay that information to her. You could have kept it for yourself.
But she told me a beautiful story. She said she's insane like me.
She's not insane. What did she tell you?
That makes it sound like you didn't actually hear our conversation. She has this sentimentality and longing about her.
Heh, she's a sentimental alcoholic. They all are, Harry. Never take a drop and you'll be 8 laps ahead of the upper-class winos, just like old Mr. Clare here. Try it. You'll be a real super detective.
Actually, I've walked the path of sobriety for a while now.
I can see that, Harry. Alcohol has left its marks, but you're doing better than when I first saw you. Rich man is shitting himself. The working class sober.
Use my intellectual curiosity against me.
Against you? Oh, Harry, I'd like to think I used it for you.
But she told me a beautiful story about the discovery of the Insunde.
Of course she did. Rich people have the best stories. About all the interesting things they've done and seen. All the beautiful places they've been to. It's just sentimentalism. She can afford to be sentimental, and she can afford to lose as well.
So what's going to happen now?
What was always going to happen? We take the harbour, and she fucks off to Ozon, uncorks a bottle of wine, calls her partners, and says they need to distance themselves from this nasty business before the big shit spinner splashes everyone. Only difference is the Union doesn't have to lose 2,000 men to machine gun fire.
Damn, Everett. I was hoping to somehow fuck you over in the end, not the other way around.
Damn, Harry. I was hoping that too. But the information I gave you proved too powerful. You knew something. Something big. And you wanted to see what happens when you tell someone. So you told her. Anyone who's ever been close to power will tell you. Inside information is the sweetest thing in the world. It's better than money. It's better than pussy. Money only makes you special for some salesmen. Pussy only makes you special for yourself. Information makes you special for all mankind. It's the ticket to history. Right on, Harry. What you did was participate in history. When history calls, you have to pick up. You had no choice. None of us ever do. A hard disco cop like you, I knew you weren't one to resist temptation.
You know what, detective? I am going to leave this out of my report, and I suggest you leave it out of yours too.
Just look at the 3 of us. The 3 careless boyaderos. Good times, good times.
So what now?
Now, there's a whole lot of work to do. For me and for you. I suppose there was a reason you came here, so let's get to it. What can I help my best friend and comrade with today?
I'm not going to share my gun with you, Everett, because I don't like you. Everett, I'm going to leave, but we might talk again later.
Finger pistols, 9mm. Snap, snap, baby. Turns out guns aren't that much for protecting as they are for attacking people. If you want to protect people, really work for them, you have to whip out your signature dual 9mm Villiers finger pistols. Who needs real guns anyway? That conversation you just had? It would have gone better had you snapped those bad boys at them. Note, 9mm dual finger pistols do not count for an actual weapon in a gunfight.
Alright, what do you actually do? +1 reaction speed. Okay. Safety's always off. Empty hand slots give +1 suggestion. Alright. How are we doing here? 16 minutes, and we still need 10 hours to sober up. That's not helping. Well, Everett, you slimy slug. I mean, Kim, maybe Disco Elysium 2 is the game in our hearts where we will bring down Everett. Oh man, I always get stuck right there. That is really hard to click through there. I guess then again, it's not all over until the fat guy sings, so who knows what still may take place here. Okay, next up, I think it's time for the ice machine. We've crossed off... Yeah, we crossed off everything we were talking about needing to do here. Talk to Joyce, talk to Everett, talk to Clause. Alright, ice machine, your time is up. Alright, I'm gonna hate this. I already know. Multi-tool, equip. Double check that we don't already have a reroll for some weird reason.
Orange machine.
We don't. Physical instrument, we need to change some gear around. We need the tracksuit. Oh, tracksuit. I don't remember what the other one was. Physical instrument. Oh, it was my chest piece, but I've got a better one now. Nope, nope, nope. Just double check and make sure we do not have... Nope, that's minus physical instrument. Plus one physical, but we've already got one. Now, unfortunately, we still are getting sober, so we're at a -2. That is absolutely killing me. What horrific timing to get sober. Alright, level it. Come on, Harry, you can do this, my man.
Is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Crack the lid open.
Ice squeaks and it's already unplugged.
Alright, I'll be back. Before we put another point in, let's go try the barbell. Now, it said something about getting weightlifting gloves, but I don't think... What a horrific time to get so... Yeah. Yeah. Can't even move in here. Where's my... Alright, barbell, you're up next. We only get one more try.
The barbell waits patiently.
Alright, here we go. Notice callers, high performance weightlifting goes. Oh, I guess it does like my gloves. Alright, do it. Nope.
You managed to hoist it off the ground. See? See? This place is cursed.
Whatever, weightlifting is for the intellectually impaired anyways.
My favorite either. At the station gym, I mean.
Alright, then we're going to put our point in. We don't get another level up after that. 10 hours. What horrific timing. What absolutely horrific timing. Oops. Alright, physical instrument. Level you up. Alright, come on, Harry.
Bell waits patiently.
You got this.
Like a dog for its master. Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game.
Say nothing. Revel in the feeling. I did it, Kim.
A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor. Hey, but you're still in a ghost house. What if someone heard this? What if they know you're here?
Good technique.
Thank you, Kim. That was definitely not worth all the effort that would take. Alright, I'm really torn on this next one. We can't get another reroll because we have maxed out with our 3 here. If we don't succeed on this one, do we save scum it? That's really against most of the fiber in my body. On the other hand, though, we can't reroll it again. We're locked out of a big chunk of quests that I would like to see. Let's make a save here. Kim, I hope it doesn't come to this. I hope it doesn't come to this.
This orange machine is dead still.
Actually, wait a second. Can I put the crowbar in one hand and the opener in the other for double power?
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand crank ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Alright, I need to have a second before we can do it. Come on, Harry. 58%. That's basically 58% of the time. It works every time. You got this. You got this, man. So Bridie's the right choice. Don't make this a shameful playthrough.
Ice groans in
Thank you, Harry.
The strain of your
Thank you.
Gewaltsund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with the words "off-site copy" written on its side.
Take the filament
You
memory.
gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lucan and Kilda as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament?
Nope, I don't think we're chancing that. I think we're gonna actually do what we're supposed to do. Oof. We were tested builders and we were not found wanting. Alright. We got 2 healing items and we're 2 points down. So we could heal up to max if we so need. We also have a place to sleep and a little bit of junk we could sell. We probably can sell the tape player at this point, I assume, because we've listened to the song. And that's going to be worth, I don't know how much, but definitely worth a $1.04. So, if we want, we could sleep in Whirlings too. Alright. Feels good, man. Feels good. We really got back in shape during this adventure. We are maxed out on our physical stat now. Alright. Let's do this. We got so many things we're going to be able to turn in because of this. Hopefully it will even just like basically reimburse all of my skill points. Alright, I got it.
Yes, what is it?
About the off-site copy. I brought it.
Looks like it's the one.
Alright, what's going to happen now?
Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
She's already inserted the filament into the radio computer's core, ready to close the door.
No. That's dangerous. She shouldn't do it.
Wait, don't put it in yet. It might be dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous. Just depressing.
How do you know?
I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the anomaly's location from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. Not a single line of data stands out. This is wrong. Machines shouldn't behave like that.
Something's very wrong with that filament memory.
Sorna doesn't reply. Her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something. For her morning star. Eyes scouring the millimeters.
Here. I found it.
Where?
Hold on.
She's behind the keyboard now, typing in some numbers that only she understands. The terminal beeps and the light inside starts pulsing like a glowing heart. Can I do anything?
Shh. Just give me a second. I'm almost...
She clocks up the typing speed.
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
Done. I've got it! I found the location of the anomaly!
You did it? You found the coordinates?
I found the coordinates!
Great job.
Oh my god, congratulations!
Thank you!
So where is it? Where are your 2mm hole in the world?
There. In the swallow.
She points to the end of the church where the group of water bowls forms a ritualistic arch.
Think you can help me again?
Sure.
I need you to go move those water bowls for me. I need to double-check my calculation.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals, solving the puzzle of water bowls.
Right, I'll figure it out. I'm good at intellectual puzzles.
Figure it out? No. I don't need you to figure anything out. I've got a computer for that.
She pats the mainframe.
Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bowl 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bowl 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
Third 2 left, fourth 5 right.
What? She only wants you to follow instructions, nothing intellectually stimulating. In this task, a child could do it. Yes, but you like moving things around. Moving things around is calming.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks.
Alright, I'm gonna leave. Let's make a save here. I don't want to get soft locked and lose my successful roll. I'm not gonna lie, that was as stressful as pigs shooting me. Alright, how do I know which bull is which?
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world outside those walls. Water inside the bowls stands still. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor. Oh boy, this is going to be good.
Alright, move the third bowl from the left 2 centimeters away.
It moves like a ghost without creating a single trace of sound. This task is an insult to your mental skills.
Chill logic. Move the fourth bowl to the left 5 centimeters to the right.
Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up from across the hall. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place after all. Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
That's good. Alright, well, we're still 10.5 hours from being sober. She used to have a thick Finnish accent, so I can barely recognize it. Interesting. Yeah, I did hear there were a couple of voices that changed when they went to Game of the Year.
What is it?
I moved the bowls. It was mind-numbingly easy. What's next?
Great. Everything should be aligned now.
What's wrong?
Yeah. Nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes.
Wait, why did you have your headphones on mute in the first place?
Honestly, I'm a little scared.
Isn't it going to just be justice and not, or just silence and nothing else?
I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist?
She turns to face you, the mainframe throwing shadows on her chin.
What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is...
She grows silent, her face very pale in the cold light of electricity. What?
I don't know. I'm just scared. Maybe it's going to be something terrifying. Maybe it's going to tear the world apart.
Like that evil ink that filled the printout, erasing coherence and meaning.
You're overthinking this.
Maybe I'm just tired.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well, nothing?
Why assume that something has to, no presence, existence, or quality has to be terrifying?
Because it reminds us of death. and we humans tend to think that death is pretty scary.
It's scary, but we have to face it.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
She puts on the oversized headphones, ready to press unmute on the keyboard.
The lieutenant takes a step back, and then nothing. Nothing happens. As Sona Lokanen-Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing but silence. You can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary.
Say nothing.
She doesn't talk. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus. One hand cupping the headphone.
Well?
Damn it.
Come on, did you hear something?
No, of course not. Nothing happened. Let's move on.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
What do you mean nothing happened? Did you find the swallow?
No.
Her hand rests on her face. She rests her face on her hands, massaging her forehead.
No. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something, if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is. You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything. But don't get your hopes up.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more to it? This can't be it. You should have a listen.
Perception. All right. Give me a second. For some weird reason, I feel like I need to check what I'm wearing for perception clothing. I know I have at least something that gives perception. Minus perception. Minus perception. We're already wearing a +1. Do we need to buy the frog hat? Is that the true answer? There. Reaction speed. All right. We got nothing else.
What is it?
And we have points that we can drop, right? We have 1 point. White check, you may retry it. Do it.
Everything disappears.
Yes.
You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes.
What does it mean?
It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere, a weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
Sunya, what if we just need a better sound system?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
You know, I know a guy. I know a couple guys, actually.
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace.
Yeah, but they could help us with the speakers.
You mean the speed freaks?
She closes her eyes as more dance music invades the holy silence of the sanctuary.
Of course. The speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me?
They would if you don't mind them moving in with you.
I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Brilliant negotiating there, detective. As always.
Great, I'll go talk to him.
Let me know how it goes.
All right, I will. Let's go check it out. So far, so good, I have to say. That was a lucky roll, because we only have the 1 point for rerolls right now. And if we can get these guys moved in, I feel like there's several quests that we can like turn in all at once. What do you need? Empathy. Lock. I thought it said it unlocked all those checks for me. Alright, Kim. I'll be right back. What's up, guys?
So, how are things going?
I wanted to talk about the church.
What's the deal?
Good news. I managed to convince Suna. She's okay with you guys moving in on one condition. She needs your speakers for her project.
We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of Nordic dance music.
You're gonna have to share the space for a couple weeks until her research is finished.
That's fine. We can manage. And you're still sure about keeping our little side business, right?
Oh, you mean the illegal drug lab? There will be no shitty shenanigans in the church. Only love and anonic dance music.
Fine. We can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
I have not bought any dice from the dice maker. Boy, they moved rather quickly. Those aren't bottles I can pick up, are they? No. Okay. Nobody over here anymore. They've moved in. Yeah, have a good one, CB. Yeah, I can't go on much longer myself. I was right. We didn't actually finish tonight. Maybe we could have if we just pushed on, but I kind of want to close out all the loose threads, as it were. All right, boys. Anything over here I need to worry about? Oh, I thought. What was it, Harry? It came from the stained glass window. Still has letters on it, too. Alright, sup, man?
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000!
Save it when you fail all the white checks. Interesting, alright.
Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too.
He looks at the imposing black box in the corner, churning out the sound.
All left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honors, detective?
What do you propose the name? Asel, Egghead, Noid, Sunya. Kim, what would you name the club? Kim, what would you name it?
I wouldn't build a club, and I wouldn't name it either.
An underground place with no name? Sounds like something the Crabman would say.
We're not going with anything the Crabman would say.
Why not? The Crabman has ideas, Asel. Ideas from another level of consciousness.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman, and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky.
All right, we have vetoed the crab name. No crab rave. Sorry, guys. I think I've come up with a name. Or, what would you propose, Andre?
The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
Andre's overthinking it.
Yes, you should do it, detective.
The speed fig with the yellow beads
the signs
around his neck. I was looking at you.
Right.
A cell?
How about something simple, like the club?
Lame.
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rave.
Egghead, you must have have a lot of ideas. Are you gonna say hardcore?
Yakukata! Yakukata! The place to be!
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, Egg. Got anything else?
Hardcore!
There it is.
Hardcore to the mega! No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
Noid, give me your 2 cents on this issue.
The amnesia.
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia! It's not amnesia, guys.
I have a feeling I know what it's gonna be. Suna, do you have an opinion on this?
I don't.
Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna bet it's Disco Elysium. I think I've come up with a name.
You have? Well, what's the name?
Or we could go with the original name of the game, No Truce with the Furies, but I think it's Disco Elysium. Have you? Andre stops touching his hair. Well, what's the name? Disco Elysium.
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten.
The past is the future, but the future is dead. No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave, like we want it to be.
And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
He said the thing. Disco Elysium. We've finally found it, builders. We're like 35 hours, 40 hours into this playthrough, and we have finally found it. Disco Elysium.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat.
Gee, I wonder who did that.
You should go with the flow. Join in on the experience.
Start tapping your foot.
It feels good. It feels right. But what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs?
Observe his movements. What are you doing, Andre?
I'm dancing.
He performs yet another strange pattern of moves, but it doesn't look very cool or modern. Honestly, it just kind of looks lame.
That soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing?
We should talk about it. We should talk about your so-called dancing.
Yes, my man.
He jumps up and down with glee, his movements punctuated by the strobastic flash of the club lights.
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with moves?
Him, I have a feeling from deep inside.
Audio waves thump against your ribcage. The speaker setup makes everything sound much better. But there's a noticeable lack of something.
I've been meaning to ask, what's with the hair?
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure, with the fused together spikes. But it looks like he's balding.
Is it important for you to be individual? No. Fair enough.
Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway.
Alright, Sauve Faire. We can switch a few things out, I know for sure. We gotta get our disco back on, guys. Where's my disco-ass blazer? It's been a while. Where is my disco-ass blazer? Alright. Do it the old-fashioned way. Welcome to Sauve Faire. -1. Too bad we couldn't have the wash lady actually wash our clothes and get some of those penalties taken off. Am I already wearing... Oh, maybe I'm already wearing it all. Ooh, that's not a good sign. Okay, there we go. Glasses. Not yet, Sino. No, thank you. Composure, reaction speed. Really, that little? That little, really? Our Sauve Faire is 8, and we only had... Hang on a second.
Man, it's good to see you.
So we would need to roll a 10, essentially. It's a white check, and I can retry it. I'm not running a thought currently that's hurting me, am I?
Goodbye, officer.
I think it's just physical. Yeah, the only one we're running is physical stuff. Alright, it's a white check.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Do it.
You close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music into life. For now, such ferocity of motion is beyond you.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by battles lost. If you up the dose and truly dance, who knows what will happen? Salvation.
All right. I'll tell you what, Sino. After the stream ends, put it in a comment, and that way I can choose when I want to read that.
Goodbye, officer.
Or if you can comment now. I don't know if you can put comments when I'm live. I do think, however, I was hoping that could be our finale, but I think we are basically out of time. Let's check with her. We'll make that the end of this stream, and we will hopefully finish up next time. Okay, how's the project going? I see your neighbors have moved in, but all I hear is music.
What?
I said, how's the project going?
I can't hear you. The music is too loud.
The project, how's it going?
Oh, the project. It's not going well.
Why?
There's that guy. I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers.
Why don't you just ask him?
He doesn't listen to me. He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yekokata. A place to be, apparently.
I'll speak to him.
Let me know how it goes.
Okay. Unfortunately, I will have to speak to him next time. I've already gone over when I should, so... But we're good. We're good. We found some Disco Elysium. So here's my plan. I don't know whether we're going to do this on Saturday or Sunday, but whichever day we stream, maybe we'll make it Saturday if I can do it, if I don't lose my voice on Friday's stream. And we're going to finish the game. We're just going to power through however much left there is and see if we can finish up. So tentatively, I'm going to say it's going to be Saturday, and it'll be an earlier stream. Something for me, which would be mid-afternoon, somewhere between probably 2 and 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So that's going to be the plan. We finished Disco Elysium. We have found Disco Elysium. Now we just got to wrap it up. I'm very happy we didn't lose that ice check roll. I didn't have to get tested on my principle of no save scumming, because I feel like we would have gotten locked out of a lot of content here. That would have really sucked. Okay, well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me at Disco Elysium. It has been an honor and a pleasure. Next stream will be Friday with our Dominion stream. It's going to be middle-aged tea and chi. Should be a pretty good one. And other than that, like I said, I think Saturday is going to be my tentative plan for finishing Disco Elysium. I hope I will see everybody there. Should be a pretty good one. All right, builders, thanks again, and I will see you in the next one. This is Babble out. Get out there and dance to some Anonic music.